market, the 600-year-old Kurmi market. Nigeria has 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Iron Age Sukuru landscape situated in Adamawa State, as well as the proto-historical and sacred Osun Osogbo Grove situated in Osun State. The world's oldest custom-made boat, the 8,500-year-old Dunufa Kano, was discovered in Yobe State in the northeast of the country. With many unique and ancient cultures, traditions and customs, in addition to hundreds of mouth-watering dishes in the national cuisine, it is also a country steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. It is the origin of the world's oldest practiced philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa. It is practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Umbanda, and Voodoo in many countries around the world. And in fact, the Osun Osogbo Temple is the oldest continuous place of worship. Nigeria also boasts the oldest known unbroken paternal monarchy of more than 10,000 years, in addition to thousands of monarchies and numerous sultanates going back many hundreds of years. The country has always been the beating heart of African football. It has gifted the world with some of the most dynamic and creative football players of all time. Gifted the world with music and artists such as the late great Fela Kuti, King Sunny Ade, Seal, Dr. Alban, and many international stars. Nigeria has also gifted the world with giants of African literature and poetry. However, Nigeria is a country on the move. The Eco-Atlantic project in Lagos will be the most advanced new city on the planet. It is a country of hardworking people, an industrious and creative people. Its film industry, Nollywood, produces close to 2,000 films annually. The country is also well known for its exotic deep ocean diving, in addition to sports fishing of marlin and tuna. Nigeria is a country of kings, of queens, businessmen and businesswomen. A place of vast sprawling game parks and highly developed cities. A country of drums, of color, culture, of festivals, music, rhythm and art. This is Nigeria.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
The vaccine.
It is another Wednesday and you are welcome to News Extra. NTA's eclectic news staple, guaranteed to serve you the new, the unique and the developing stories with an extra touch of details. Tonight, bandits strike Kaduna again as Greenfield University students abducted. We have an eye on street children, the vulnerable feet trudging daily on the unforgiving streets across the country. We will also be peeping across the border in Chad, the political storm brewing after the death of President Idris Deby. And on a cheery note, we will track some projects that have brought smiles to communities. The locomotive is back to Itakme, Kogi State, and it's hooting its music to the ears of the indigents. Also, there is a story of peace returning home in Plateau State as 2 communities shield their swords for progress and development. Stick with us as we go through this and more together. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Marbuba, and this is News Extra. I welcome you. Security personnel intensified search for the abducted students of Greenfield University along Kaduna-Abuja Highway. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun reports.
Located about 40 kilometers center along the Abuja-Kaduna Highway, Greenfield University, a private institution, came under attack by bandits Tuesday night. The bandits were said to have gained access through a nearby bush behind the school.
Unspecified number of students were kidnapped.
Security personnel are keeping track of the abducted students for their safe rescue. For now, security personnel are keeping vigil on the institution, in addition to routine surveillance along Kaduna-Abuja Road. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun, NTA News.
The queues that were seen in most petrol stations in Abuja in the last 2 days are beginning to ease off. Motorists expressed optimism that if recurring impasse between major players in the downstream sector is continuously mitigated, such unpleasant interruptions can be avoided. Lydia Sampson has an update.
Unbelievable, but you can see for yourself. It is obviously not just the queues that has given way with the flooding of petrol to most petrol stations in the FCT. Even the palpable panic by motorists has disappeared. Most petrol stations have received products, while some are dispensing, others are still offloading. Motorist says this is indicative that the narrative is changing for good.
Today the story is different. If Nigeria can be like this the way it is today, we will really applaud the president.
I'm so happy. I almost passed, you know. I didn't know about the fuel scarcity anyway.
These things are just the dealers. You see, we don't need to hoard petrol. If you are reviewing fuel, set it maybe in 3 months or in any month, we'll do this. So people will know that, okay, whatever you hear, don't bother.
As part of efforts to return to the zero queue situation enjoyed by motorists before the interruption, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says it has increased the daily supply of PMS across the country from 550 trucks to 1,661 trucks. Ayuba Sani, a zonal area manager of a petrol station, confirmed the flooding of products to all outlets.
You can see yourself, there's no queue, and almost all our stations. Yesterday we get a truck and we discharge.
Motorists decried what they call the insensitivity of some key players in the downstream who trigger product disruptions at will. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Federal Executive Council has approved more than 8.3 billion naira for the completion of the reconstruction work on Sokoto Tambuwal Jega Makere Road project in Nigeria's northwest sub-region. Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola announced this while briefing journalists after the council's meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
The Executive Council chambers of the Presidential Villa once again comes alive. Nigeria's highest policy decision-making body reconvenes to consider proposals for national growth and development. This is the 42nd meeting to be held virtually in the new normal and 13th for the year 2021. Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola is seeking the Council's approval for another memo aimed at sustaining efforts at addressing the nation's infrastructure deficit for national growth and development. This time in respect of the ongoing contract for the rehabilitation of Sokoto Tambuwal Jega Makera Road, for which an argumentation of 8.39 billion naira has been approved.
And the reason was for price changes essentially between 2012 when the contract was awarded and now materials and costs have changed, and also the scope of works of the 85 kilometers of the road has to be changed now from rehabilitation to reconstruction because it has deteriorated from when it was awarded 12 years ago.
He said the first section of the road contract, covering 296 kilometers, has already been completed.
The entire 296 kilometers is now motorable. About 100 kilometers of the second section, which is the subject of augmentation from Yauri to Makera, has been completed, so we just have about 85 kilometers to go.
Other resolutions adopted at the council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari were not made public. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The expected impact of the green imperative to enhance mechanization of agriculture and agro-processing in Nigeria is key to cushioning the effect of COVID-19 on the Nigerian economy. This is coming from the Senate, and that is why the legislatures have approved the presidential loan request for external borrowing of $1.5 billion and 995 million euros. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko takes up the story from here.
It was another session of parliamentary intervention on the state of the Nigerian economy. Presidential request of external loan of $1.5 billion United States dollars and 995 million euros from the World Bank, Export and Import Bank of Brazil, and Dutch Bank of Germany was the crux of the matter. The borrowing is to provide fiscal support to states and enhance mechanized agriculture.
That the loan is in the immediate best interest of the Nigerian state and its citizens in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
I want to find out now, Mr. President, if the committee in making these recommendations to us had the opportunity to see the terms and conditions of these loans. Thank you, Mr. President. But having said that, I'm in support. Let me be on the record.
Within the 5 years moratorium, we are still going to be paying, servicing the interest on the loan before the repayment starts for 5 years, for 25 years.
Next time, I would suggest we call the State Assembly committees, whether finance or appropriations, because they are the ones to oversight the implementation of the loan. We cannot go to the state and start saying, where is the fund used?
Senate passed the 2021 budget of the Nigerian Customs Service of 257 billion naira as presented by the committee chairman, Senator Francis Alimi Kena, while the nationwide toll-free emergency number establishment bill, sponsored by Senator Ibikunle Amosun, passed second reading.
That the target revenue collection of 1,678 billion be approved.
Emergency numbers will create easy access to Nigerians, especially those in remote areas.
The Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Budueba, Kwara State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Ibrahim Oloriegbe, the Federal College of Precision Agriculture and Irrigation Technology, Yamidi, Jigawa State Establishment Bill by Senator Ibrahim Hadeja, and the Federal Orthopedic Hospital, Dekina Establishment Bill by Senator Jibrin Issa passed second reading.
The establishment of this hospital at Budueba will expand access to quality psychiatric services for Nigerians.
The establishment of the orthopedic hospital in Dekina is amplified by the challenges and complications associated with traditional bone setting.
What this intends to do, Mr. President, is the training will focus on actually making a soil analysis, even on a farm, even if we bring it down to local government basis alone.
Senator Ike Ekweremadu, through a petition, called on the Nigerian and Togolese authorities to investigate the recent killing of Nigerians in Togo and bring the perpetrators to book. Senate adjourned to Tuesday, the 27th of April, 2021. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Unko, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the seaports concession agreements between the federal government and private terminal operators signed since 2005 has expired. What then is delaying the renewal of such agreements in view of the fact that government is likely to experience revenue loss in millions of dollars? And National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the House of Representatives has mandated its relevant committees to find out reasons for the delay.
The resolution was passed following a motion from Representative Shohukuku, in which he observed that the renewal of the port's concession should have commenced in 2016.
Concession agreements that have expired are deemed to have automatically renewed without benefit of full negotiation, provided that concessionaries serve the lesser requisite notice of intent to review in line with the provision of agreements.
The House is also to investigate ExxonMobil for alleged abuse of the Nigerian Content Development Act, as moved by Representative Henry Wauba.
The glaring deliberate abuse of the Nigerian Content Development Act by ExxonMobil
and the contract termination of the Nigerian oil companies have caused untold hardship to those indigenous companies and the host communities.
It is inimical to the welfare of the citizens of our country who are suffering this. Then we are obligated to look into it.
The need to rehabilitate dilapidated roads in parts of Sokoto State, as raised by Representative Mohammed Barugaja, was supported by the lawmakers. Wednesday's plenary featured the passage at second reading of a bill seeking the establishment of Nigerian Maritime Trust Fund for the purpose of training and provision of equipment to the Nigerian Navy, sponsored by Representative Yusuf Gagdi, and a bill seeking to amend the Asset Management Corporation Act of Nigeria.
We don't encourage a situation where it's a laissez-faire situation where people are continuing to expire liabilities and suddenly people abscond, leaving assets that are less than the value of what is to be recovered.
Meanwhile, the House has considered and adopted recommendations of the report of an investigation it instituted concerning the ongoing recruitment into agencies under the Ministry of Interior, and it endorsed the computer-based aptitude test, which was the subject of contention. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now, the late president of Chad, Idris Deby, one of the longest-serving African leaders, many people say was a soldier to the last day as he died at the war front tackling insurgents and bandits. World leaders, including Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari, have been paying tribute to Deby's legacies in the region. In this report, Debola Brooklyn Sunday takes a look at the impact of his death on Nigeria-Chad relations and efforts to save the Sahel region from terrorism.
The relation between Nigeria and Chad dates back to the pre-colonial era. These strong ties are evident in the regular visits of the late Chad's president to President Buhari since assumption of office, and also the visit of President Buhari to Chad. However, the relationship between the two neighboring countries of the Lake Chad region was not without its strains. In the beginning of the late 1970s, clashes occurred around the Lake Chad, where both countries hoped to exploit oil reserves, leading to the establishment of joint patrols and a commission to clearly demarcate the boundary across the lake, which led to further disruption of long-standing informal trade networks. Despite these strains, both nations at different fora reaffirmed their intention to maintain close ties. Late Deby, no doubt, has been a significant military actor in the region and one of the principal security actors in the G5 partnership of Sahelian states. He deployed forces and joined them to assist Nigeria in the campaign against militant Islamist group Boko Haram.
Nigeria-Chad relation is on 10 towers now. So we need to really study the situation very seriously. The entire multinational joint task force have to be strengthened at this point in time.
What will be the effect of his death on the efforts to save the Sahel from terrorism and redeem Lake Chad?
Idris Deby taking out the Boko Haram insurgents would definitely be happy that they've succeeded in ridding the continent of one of their foes, and that means they will be happy. But if the situation is calm, if all answer is contained, and then we are able to get support from the United Nations, from African Union, to stabilize the situation politically, there is a lot of backdoor diplomacy that needs to take place.
With the new military regime headed by his son, sustained a strongman model of substantial security commitments.
The death of the president can only slow down some certain things that are being on board, but it will just take some time, and then the agreement will be revalidated.
Late President Idris Deby Itno, throughout his presidency, repeatedly faced resistance in the form of coup attempts and rebel activities that ultimately saw the end of his life on the battlefield. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Very unfortunate, I must say. And now joining us is the outgoing Nigerian ambassador to Chad, His Excellency Zanabukar Kolo. He is going to talk to us about the death and other things. So, His Excellency, you're welcome to News Extra. His Excellency, can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. So it's good to have you on News Extra. It has been quite a topsy-turvy week in Chad. And what is the situation now in Jamena and other parts of the country?
Well, as for the situation in Jamena and environment, the situation is calm. People are going about their normal business. A transition military council has been inaugurated, which is led by Lieutenant General Muhammad Idris Deby, and they are pledged to honor all international agreements, and there will be an 18-month transition period where they'll be able to hand over to a democratically elected government. So far, the situation in Jamena and environment is calm, and there's no cause for alarm, unlike what's being reported in various social media platforms.
You know, people in Nigeria have, you know, everywhere, will I say, in Africa that I know about are really, you know, grieving the loss of the late president of Chad. So what does this mean for the joint operations against insurgents around the shared borders, especially the Lake Chad Basin?
Could you repeat? I could hardly hear you. It was breaking when you were
I said,
speaking.
you know,
Could
we're
you repeat
all
your
grieving,
question?
most especially here in Nigeria. So what does this mean for the joint operations against insurgents around the shared borders, especially the Lake Chad now?
I can't hear the question from this end. I can hardly hear you.
It's like the network is pretty poor.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that, so what does this mean now, you know, to us, most especially here in a Lake Chad Basin? It's like
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yes.
Even though we wish to hear from you more, please, I will just try as much as possible to get the network back. But before then, let's continue. The 2021 raining season is yet to be on, despite few downpours in some parts of the country. The situation is giving agriculturists serious cause for concern. NTA's Tuesday Live provided a platform for experts to discuss the annual predictions with focus on risk management of post-harvest losses. Abakar Usman Akwanga reports.
The 2021 weather forecast by Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET, which predicted a normal to above normal annual rainfall, elicited different views from different quarters. Discussants on NTA's Tuesday Live also looked at the 2021 cropping season, offering expert counseling to farmers on uncertainties occasioned by low rainfall recorded in the beginning of the year.
The focus we provided also entails on all the 774 local government areas of the country. And this is just to give a clear idea on the pattern of the season to make farmers now utilize the information for improved yield. It has shown greatly that if you adopt the use of climate information in the agricultural sector precisely, you tend to reduce loss by more than 90%.
Federal government success story in providing sufficient fertilizer and other farm input, including financial interventions, they agreed are fundamental to smooth takeoff of the farming season.
Nigeria is better for this. This information is very, very good. We
encourage every farmer to abide by it, and we will partner more with NIMET to be able to accentuate this flow of information. And as Prof said also, the information is even translated into 3 languages.
We give what we call crop-specific and area-specific fertilizers. So in a nutshell, the kind of fertilizers you will use in the northern part of the country don't necessarily have to be the same. It is driven by what the nutrient status in each part or each area that the farmer is growing.
As more downpours are being expected, there are optimism that late or low rainfall may not likely lead to drought, but a bumper harvest, giving the plants an enlightenment to keep all concerned abreast. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Kwanga, NTA News.
Every season has its peculiarities. As such, with the commencement of the Ramadan fast, prices of essential food commodities have skyrocketed in markets. Kama in this market survey looks at this phenomenon around Suleja in Niger State.
The Suleja Modern Market in Niger State, officially referred to as IBB Market, is rated by analysts as one of the busiest markets in North Central, made popular because it attracts customers from neighboring FCT and beyond who cash into the opportunity of buying items cheaper. But it is Ramadan and the story is different, as prices of consumables have recorded an increase.
Like this one now, normally we sell for 4-5. Maybe buy 4-3, sell 4-5. Now it's 5,000. For example, now Gary, that one is 500.
Nura Dauda, a major tomato seller in the market and other fruit dealer in Suleja, said that the price of tomatoes had gone up from 500 naira a basket to 1,000 naira. The same applies to gari, beans, rice, egg, Irish potatoes, plantain, and vegetables, which are mostly used in delicacies for the break of fast.
So we are begging them to please do something about it. You know, anything that they feel they can do that can save the situation.
Islamically, Sheikh Muhammad Husseini of Suleja IBB Market Mosque maintains that it is exploitative to hike food prices in Ramadan and urge traders to desist for the sake of Allah.
You must have to show mercy, you have to pity anyone that will come to you. You have the power to less the price of what you are selling.
Kama, NTA News.
Let's pause for a short break now. When we return, we will weigh the toll of illicit drugs on youths and also examine the plight of street children. There is also a clear path to true reconciliation for 2 communities that have been at loggerheads for some time now.
He's not my real father. But you already know this, Lera darling. Yes. But after 25 years, she just told me who my real father is.
Baby, come inside now. Where is it in the car?
Introducing Glow U2 plans. Feast your eyes from as low as 50 naira for 1 hour. Simply dial *777#.
Distinguished candidate, registration for 2021-2022 UTME/DE into Nigerian tertiary institutions begins April 8th to May 15th, 2021. Candidates are to check their eligibility for chosen programs and institutions on our website, jam.gov.ng, before commencing the application process. To create your profile, only one mobile phone number can be used by a candidate. To generate profile code, simply send your NIN by SMS text to 55019. A profile code of 10 characters and IBAS alert is received on the candidate's phone number for both pre-registration checking and purchase of UTME/DE e-PIN. Do not give your password to any person. Do not register twice or take UTME or DE forms months for the same year. You can upgrade your UTME to DE at no cost. Direct entry registration closes same day with UTME, and there will be no date extension. Pay only approved prices by JAMB. For more details, check jamb.gov.ng.
JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
Talking about your team has never been on top of the law. They have, Joe. And what are you saying? It's a lie. How is it a lie? The highest scoring striker ever. He doesn't have a higher score than
Just kickoff is at 9:45 p.m.
9 p.m.
Settle almost anything football with Google search.
I they look for pension fund administrator. We're soft, make sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no. The brand is sure them no go stress you. Call them then they accessible. Yes, customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment. Everything, it just a blend. If you don't want it good for you, my guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
We have that available. Babes, are you hungry?
Famished.
Just
always remember, you deserve a break.
Yes, we can provide.
You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
I am with you at every stage of your life, providing comfort when you are keeping fit, comfort when you are expecting your bundle of joy, comfort during motherhood, comfort in your office, comfort in your car, comfort when sharing a meal, comfort at bedtime. From cradle to grey, there's comfort for you with Vitafoam. Quality is vital. Quality is Vitafoam. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
His sincere smile.
Watching him sleep.
His smell.
Every moment with my baby.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن.
The Muslim Ummah are cordially invited to the 15th NTA, FRCN and Voice of Nigeria Ramadan lecture, scheduled for date 24th April 2021, time 9 a.m. inshallah. Topic: Causes and Solutions to Nigerian Security Challenges, the Islamic Perspective. Guest lecturer, Sheikh Dr. Jabir Sani Mehula, Head of Department, Arabic and Islamic Studies, Sokoto State University, Sokoto. The venue for the event is Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, off Sultan Road, Kaduna. Chairman of the occasion, His Royal Highness Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, Emir of Zazzau. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Malan Nasir Ahmed Al-Rufai, the Executive Governor, Kaduna State. Hosts Yaqub Ibn Muhammad, Director General NTA, Dr. Mansour Liman, Director General FRCN, Dr. Sita Okechuku, Director General Voice of Nigeria. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Welcome back to News Extra. Earlier, we were talking with the outgoing Nigerian ambassador to Chad, His Excellency Zanabukar Kolo, and the network went really bad. So we're joining him now. So, His Excellency, the last question I had was, what does it mean for the joint operations against insurgents around the shared border? His Excellency.
Yes. Chad is expected to honor all its agreements. The Transitional Military Council has came out clearly and stated that they will honor all international treaties and obligations. So it's expected that we have the Multinational Joint Task Force, of which Chad is a signatory. We have the G5 Sahel, of which also Chad is a signatory. So under this, you have several military operations of which Chad is engaged, and there will be continuity in that. At least the Transition Military Council is committed to that. So we expect everything to continue. There will be continuity in that.
All right, there will be continuity in that. Thank you so much, His Excellency, the outgoing ambassador, Nigerian ambassador to Chad. That is His Excellency Zanabukar Kolo. Thank you so much for being a part of News Extra tonight. Now,
Thank you for having me.
House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has stressed the readiness of the National Assembly to collaborate with the Nigeria Police for improved funding, recruitment and training to enhance internal security. He said this while hosting the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ali Baba. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Less than a month into his appointment, the Acting Inspector General of Police has hit the ground running by reaching out to the legislative arm of government, a body mandated to make the laws which the police enforce. The Speaker says crime prevention requires smart skills and equipment, all of which the House is ready to ensure provision of through appropriation, adding that the dignity of the profession should not be compromised.
The supplementary budget is going to be pinged on just two areas, the COVID-19 health area and security. I would want you to liaise very well with the executive before the budget comes to us so that we'll know how the police also can become accommodated.
The Acting Inspector General Usman Al-Ali Baba commended the timely passage of the Police Act, which aims at modernizing operations of the police, and urged similar treatment for the Police Service Commission Bill and others before the National Assembly.
To provide security and safety to Nigerians. But as the lead agency, we want to perform better than what we are doing. And with your cooperation and assistance, definitely the police will work more and they will do more to ensure that the confidence of people are restored.
Meanwhile, sponsor of the Police Service Commission Amendment Bill has briefed the press on the section pertaining to tenure of the Inspector General of Police.
It is again within the power of Mr. President to extend the service of the Inspector General of Police to serve for the period of 4 years.
The bill has passed second reading. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And like all countries of the world, Nigeria has been taking steps to protect youths from drug abuse, which has proven to be not only harmful to the future of the country, but also said to be responsible for most of the crimes and criminality perpetrated by young people. Abdul Malik Hassan looks at this phenomenon and its impact on the inspirations of the youths and the society.
It is an established fact that youths are future expected to lead the world into a better place. While this requires a series of processes like education and other values, there are issues that often scuttle this, one of which is the use of illicit substances. Joseph Musa, not real name, has the aspiration of becoming an ambassador to represent Nigeria in foreign countries. That dream was almost shattered.
I never knew that it could cause so many harm to my physical body, to my mental health, and to relationships I have with family and my peers, my friends. I still have dreams of going back to school after I complete my rehabilitation and abstaining from drug intake, and studying very hard.
Joseph Musa's life is now back on track and is cautioning youths still engaged or about to be involved in drug abuse to desist.
In 2018, statistics reveals that
more than 14 million Nigerians between the ages of 14 and 64 consume illicit substances. But the big question remains, what is the future of those who refuse to desist from this act?
Drugs have physical, social and psychological effects. Apart from that, they have a symbiotic relationship with the commission of crimes, particularly heinous crimes and even transnational organized crimes. It brings about a broken family. It also brings about stigmatization of you addict, and so many other social problems.
It's high time we begin to see critical stakeholders begin to look beyond criminalizing drug users, to beginning to see it with the lens of the health impact on these individuals. You see, until we have healthy individuals, we can have a healthy society.
It now seems to be a tug of war between NTA and drug peddlers in Nigeria, with the continued seizures of illicit substances.
Unless we get to the root cause, which is drug abuse, unless we deal with it, we will only be scorching the surface, and the criminalities will continue to increase.
It is a war that experts believe needs collective efforts of all to stop many more youths going the path that Joseph Musa told, but was fortunate to retrace his steps. In Abuja, Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
The plight of street children in Cross River State has been a cause for concern for some time now due to several factors, one of which is the increase in antisocial conduct traced to them. The hardship faced and the menace posed by these vulnerable children have attracted relevant stakeholders to call for concerted efforts to address their plight to avoid a larger societal nuisance. Maureen Leo Ajom in Calabar reports on the plight of these children and possible ways to lighten their challenges.
Living as a street child could better be imagined than experienced. Life in the street as a juvenile has been described by experts as a state of misery, woes and hardship, especially at the time of the COVID-19 pandemic. For this set of children, it is a life of crisis and uncertainty, with exposures to unhealthy physical and environmental conditions that threaten their lives and that of other members of the society.
Our father don't die. That is why we there for street.
It's because of my father's wife. What we say, she never give me food for us.
Experts posed that the plight of street children notwithstanding calls for a swift humanitarian response.
It's a matter of maybe the local government setting up a committee, enforcement committee, the supervisor of education, getting authority from their councillors, and make a bylaw, whatever, and then set a committee, and give them a car, patrol during school hours. If they see any child of school age, arrest the child, then the parents will come out.
The Cross River State government has put in place a number of measures to address the plight of street children.
There's a bill that is ongoing, will soon become a law. And what is this law talking about? A way of trying to protect them, give them a succor, trying to also provide for them in terms of their schooling, in terms of some aspect that will help them, stabilize.
Research shows that children who are raised on streets encounter a number of socio-economic challenges, including human trafficking, social harassment, abduction, disease, vehicular mishaps, and lots more. Many observers appeal to concerned authorities and individuals to apply care and attention to advance efforts to get these children with great potential off the street and cause them to navigate successfully to achieve their dreams. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
Let's move from children now to communities. Infrastructural development is fundamental to sustainable socio-economic activities and urban-rural development. Idagberi, Better Land community in Ahuada, West Local Government area of Rivers State, is ironically far from being better. Dianikume Ululu had first-hand experience of their plight and reports that there is urgent need to revamp the Joint Karama General Hospital and address other infrastructure deficits.
Edabari Betterland community is one of the community in Awoda West local government area of Rivers State. The community is located at the heart of Taylor Creek River. I'm here with one of the Edabari Betterland community indigene. Can you tell us what you people are doing in this community?
Primarily is fishing and farming. Unfortunately, I will draw the attention of the Rivers State government and Nigeria at large that our river is being polluted, and based on that, we cannot fish anymore.
The Jankrama clan is made up of 4 communities, which include Isusu, Isua, Odao, and Edabari Betterland, all in Awoda West local government area of the state. Over the years, these communities have suffered perceived neglect by successive administrations. The only Jankrama government boys and girls secondary schools are in a ramshackle state, begging for urgent attention.
We don't have good equipment, like the lab is very started, there's nothing inside. And sometimes when the rain is falling, the class they are leaking, and the decks and everything just bad, and we are not okay with the school.
The secondary school, the government comprehensive secondary school, you can see there is no desk. Children go there and sit by the floor.
No water for us to drink and have a good taste. So we are passing through these difficulties.
The only government general hospital in the area is in a moribund state, while the water tank that is serving the general hospital has been overtaken by weeds.
I am therefore calling on the state government, who have been doing so much for the state, to yearn and to hearken to the cries of the Ngene people and the Jankrama people in particular.
The scenario in this community calls for urgent attention in order to improve the well-being of people of Jankrama in Awoda West local government area of Rivers State. From Edabari Betterland community in Awoda West local government area of Rivers State, Janukume Ulolo, NTA News.
Peace is a prerequisite for development. It is against this backdrop that stakeholders in Plateau State, in conjunction with the state government, are finding possible solutions to lasting peace in communities experiencing conflicts. The latest is the peace agreement between Riom and Bassa communities, courtesy of the Humanitarian Dialogue Center. Young Adeya Pagyang tells us more.
The joint agreement is coming on the heels of resurgence of violent conflict in Bassa and Riom local government areas, which have impacted some communities in Kaura and Kauru local government areas of Kaduna State. To forestall further loss of lives and property, steps have been taken to improve peaceful coexistence in these communities.
They have brought everybody on board, and I believe we are going to work and we will see the success of it.
It is good, and we support peaceful coexistence and commend this effort.
The Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, Nuhu Abok Ayuba, represented, and others cutting across traditional, security, and peace-building advocates call for sincerity of purpose and a commitment to pursuing peaceful coexistence as well as strengthening peace processes.
I pray that all of us who have come here to sign this agreement will not just use Bible to sign it, but we take it from the whole of our heart that we are ready to be agents of change in our communities.
We have evolved. Those who still have bitterness in their hearts, but have found a way to deal with it. As a result of the various interventions that was put in place, whether by HD or other organizations, or the peace agency, or by the church, or by the mosque.
For the convener of the peace process, early warning and response are key to sustainable peace.
Now, when an individual makes a stand in such a manner, he also should be ready to have a forgiving heart and to learn to teach members of his community to forgive, because conflict in life is inevitable.
With the signing of the peace document, these key players have agreed to work for sustainable peace in their communities and the state at large. In Jos, Indenyan and the Abujang, NTA News.
And from Jos, we'll head to Kano. Cancer remains one of the most endemic illnesses, posing uncommon challenges to the medical world. For the patients, it is excruciating pains they live with. For the doctors and other medical practitioners, it is the delicate task of containing the disease. And for the government, it is the unending investments on projects and policies for dealing with the disease. This is the case in Kano State, where state-of-the-art project of the first state-owned cancer facility is in progress and will, on completion, cater for an estimated 100 patients at a time daily. Elizabeth Yilalamido tells us more. This report contains some graphic images, so viewer discretion is advised.
Cancer is an uncontrollable growth of abnormal cells that invades the body, which could be benign or malignant, thus becoming one of the world's leading cause of deaths. Jamila Bala is a mother suffering from a malignant stomach cancer, which has taken hold of her body, spreading across her lungs and kidneys.
I have been taking ulcer medication for a while, thinking it was ulcer. But when it persisted, a doctor wrote a series of tests for me, and it was confirmed to be stomach cancer. It has been 2 months now.
An associate professor of medicine, Dr. Hadiza Saidu, speaks on some of the challenges associated with the treatment of cancer.
Usually, when patients present late, it's quite sad. Considering our socioeconomic status, a lot of the treatments cannot be afforded, and then we tend to resort to quite a radical form of treatment, maybe surgery or the like. A lot of anti-cancer drugs are quite very expensive and not ready.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, that was abruptly, it ended abruptly. So I think we're going to go back to the report much later. Okay, with the COVID-19 in the driver's seat of diseases globally, is HIV and AIDS campaign on the decrease in Nigeria? That is what Olubukola Aduwo tried to find out. Against this backdrop of new statistics from the Ondo State Agency for the Control of AIDS on the number of infections in Ondo State, especially among, guess which group? Well, pregnant women. Here is Olubukola with the report.
According to latest statistics from the Ondo State Agency for the Control of AIDS, ODSACA, 246,000 pregnant women tested positive to the human immunodeficiency virus HIV in Ondo State.
Even though there is no surge since last year in number of cases of infected pregnant women in Ondo State, HIV and AIDS still remain a major concern in reproductive health.
Every positive pregnant woman is put on this program that we call elimination of mother-to-child transmission.
Health experts say since the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic, world attention, especially in Nigeria, has shifted from other debilitating diseases, while much of government spendings and attention on health are focused on resolving the COVID-19 issue. They say public awareness level on HIV and AIDS prevention is on a fast decline.
I don't know my HIV status, but I'm sure it's not positive, it's negative.
It's good for every individual to know his or her HIV status.
Health authorities are worried about the high number of HIV-infected pregnant women in the state, and even more troubling is the causes of such huge figure.
Prevention starts from pregnancy, even before they get pregnant. That's when the management starts. They want to encourage them to get pregnant when the viral load is very, very low.
Even if they will go back to traditional birth attendants, let them know their status.
The network of people living with HIV and AIDS in Ondo State, however, expressed satisfaction for the attention given to pregnant women and other people living with the disease, especially in the area of provision of antiretroviral drugs. 32,874 people are living with HIV and AIDS in Ondo State. 12,605 of them are on antiretroviral drugs. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
Well, let's take a breather. In the next segment, the locomotive returns to Itakwe, Kogi State, with goods and good tidings. Plus, many days for the thief, but 1 day for the Nigeria Customs Service after nabbing some career smugglers. Stay with us.
Download the Airtel TV app to watch all the fun and exciting performances of The Voice Nigeria Season 3 every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. The Voice Nigeria, connected by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
If life were a game where every choice brought you closer to your dream, would you stay where you're unappreciated? Or would you somehow take that first step to changing things for yourself? At ARM Pensions, it's not about who you are, it's about who you play with. Join the team that appreciates you. Switch to ARM Pensions today.
I've got no ice on me, but still can freeze your knees. What up?
Unleash your cool side with Mentos Fresh Action Candy and its incredible soothing liquid filling. Get on stage now.
I be the cool guy that you want, fresh guy that you want. Mentos Fresh Action Candy. Get cool, stay fresh with the Mentos Fresh Action Candy.
Mentos Fresh Action Candy. Get cool, feel fresh. Now with vitamin C.
It is time for celebration. Oh. 30 years bustling with goodness. Eh. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Mountain Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Mountain Guinness, enjoy our world of
developing the nation's human resource.
He's falling sick so frequently, either fever or stomachache. I keep him away from junk food.
She also feeds me apples. She says an apple a day keeps...
If you want to keep germs away, then also wash your hands regularly with Dettol soap.
Meaning?
If it's a soap, why not Dettol soap? Germs and disease spread through the hand also. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
It's very important for us to tell our stories so that our people will know their history. Now, to make our people to get their mindset shaped for the right way.
Now, our Tori be this for the best original Niger dramas, telenovelas, and sports. Get your GoTV decoder, GoTenna, and 1 month GoTV Jolly subscription for the low price of 6,900 naira. Download my GoTV app to manage your account and enjoy better entertainment. GoTV, love it.
My name is Dr. Faisal Shuaib. I am the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Earlier today, I took my first shot of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Despite all of the delays, all of the doubts, here we are, Nigerians can finally access the vaccines. I hope that Nigerians will come out and get these vaccines because these vaccines are safe, they're effective, and they truly work. Over the course of the next few weeks, we have to continue wearing face masks. We have to do social distancing. But I know eventually once we're able to get herd immunity, then we'll be able to stop all of these non-pharmaceutical interventions. To get the vaccination, you should go to the NPHCDA website. There's a link on there that you click and you can register and schedule exactly where you want to get your vaccine.
Liverpool are still in the hunt for a top 4 finish as they welcome Newcastle United to Anfield. Will their ambitions for finals by the visitors this Saturday? It's Liverpool versus Newcastle United on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 12 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Gold.com.
Thanks so much for staying. Backward integration program in sugar to address unemployment, says National Sugar Development Council, as Nigeria Exchange Group All Share Index continue positive trend at the end of Wednesday's trading session. Musa Abubakar is here with the details on business news. Musa, it's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. Welcome to Business News. The Executive Secretary of National Sugar Development Council, Zach Adedeji, says the backward integration program roadmap of the council will address the soaring unemployment level and other socio-economic issues bedeviling the country. Statement by Deputy Director, Public Affairs of the Council, Ahmed Waziri, indicates that the backward integration program roadmap, which is designed for the nation's sugar industry, is a major component of the Nigeria Sugar Master Plan. He noted that the sugar sector has what it takes to provide direct and indirect jobs for millions of Nigerians, both as skilled and unskilled workers. It's been a good evening for investors at the equities market as Wednesday's session ends on a positive note. The Nigerian Exchange Group All Share Index climbed 0.29% at 39,128.34 basis points and market capitalization at 20.4 trillion naira. 239.2 million shares valued at 1.6 billion naira were traded in 3,746 deals. Access, Fidelity Bank and Mutual Benefits Insurance PLC were the most active shares with a combined volume of 62 million, valued at more than 257 million naira. Well, that's business news. It's back to you, Fatima.
Well, thank you so much, Musa. Now, a few days into the withdrawal of services by e-cab operators in Lagos State, residents who have relied on this mode of transportation for a long time are lamenting the effect of this development on their daily routines. Imole Ayatokede Ogunfowura reports that the e-cab operators are complaining about the poor condition of service meted out to them by the concerned authorities.
Peace Ede, a National Youth Service Corps member in Lagos State, says she depends largely on internet cabs for mobility due to affordability and security.
I feel it's less expensive in a way and also comfortable. You get a comfortable ride. You don't have to squeeze yourself.
While she is thankful for this convenient means of transportation, more so that she doesn't have to put up with the risk of contracting COVID-19 on a city bus, the internet cab drivers working with tech companies just by registering on the apps say they are losers in the equation. Now, they are demanding an increment of e-cab fares in order to break even. They are also requesting the commission on rights accruing to the tech companies be reduced from the current 25% to a modest 10%.
They are not a transport company. They are a technology company. They deploy technology to facilitate a link between drivers and the rider. It is Nigerians that are deploying cars.
The e-cab operators also lamented the spate of insecurity members are forced to contend with.
Daddy, as a name, Daddy, we have SI, we have priest, we have ghost. See, why would their system accept such? And that rider is going to order us to an unknown destination. This app company, they are supposed to provide the details even if the driver arrives at the destination or not.
The agitated group is appealing to the federal government to prevail on the companies by regulating their code of conduct in line with stipulated labor laws. As at the time of filing this report, the tech companies denied response. In Lagos, Imole Ayotokede Ogunfowura, NTA News.
Still in Lagos, 9 suspects were recently smoked out of their holes by the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Lagos in connection with the importation of goods worth 3 3.1 billion naira in duty paid value. Michael Olale reports that the customs used the platform to emphasize the need to adhere to extant laws guiding international trade.
The customs is not actually operating in isolation, but backed up with relevant anti-smuggling law to check counterproductive acts detrimental to the economy. In exercising Section 158 of the Customs and Excise Management Act 2004 as amended, which empowers the agency to patrol and search everywhere without restrictions, the customs intercepted these two trucks conveying what might ordinarily look like raw and processed cassava at Songwater. But after thorough examination, these 42 drums of calcium carbide were discovered.
You can now imagine this one, if it's been allowed to enter into, or to people who are bad people, the danger that it will cause is too much.
The interception of close to 3,000 kilograms of Indian hemp further highlights the power of the agency to act accordingly once the items in question fall under prohibition. Despite an existing ban on tramadol, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A was still able to intercept 546 cartons, while 20,538 bags of foreign rice were also seized.
We have 9 suspects who are attached to other seizures, of which 2 we are now being detained, while 7 of the suspects we are now released on administrative bail.
The customs is emphatic in its clarion call that the anti-smuggling war is a collective one based on the tendency of some of the seizure to stimulate insecurity and drug abuse. In Lagos, Michael Walale, NTA News.
The commencement of haulage on the standard gauge rail line linking Itakpe with Warri will promote rapid socio-economic and industrial growth in that axis. Kogi State residents who are sure of this assertion told Solomon Ayedehin that with the successful delivery of haulage pipes for the AKK gas pipeline project fulfills the essence of establishing the rail line.
Known as the Central Railway Line, the 326-kilometer Itakpe-Warri standard gauge line was designed by the federal government to link people across the cultural divides and expand the frontiers of trade and commerce. It is also targeted at galvanizing better standard of living for Nigerians. Though originally conceived as a cargo rail to transport iron ore from the central Itakpe to Warri Port, the route has fast promoting agriculture, mining, and social integration of Nigerians. The haulage of pipes for the AKK gas pipeline project has officially begun from Warri, terminating at Itakpe in Kogi State. Nigerians are hopeful that this development will enhance trade, fast-track the resuscitation of Ajaokuta Steel Company, and invariably boost socio-economic activities in Kogi and Nigeria at large.
In a situation where you find that people are talking of even security challenges and economic crisis in Nigeria, and railway sector is being increasingly putting resources into it, and we can see, we can feel it. So I think we want to commend the federal government and to urge them to continue to build more.
For the host communities at the two ends, it's business. We are talking about engagement of people who are already unemployed. It's also an opener for other business opportunities. And when people are empowered to make revenue, they pay taxes. So IGR will go up, and employment will be created in Kogi State. So on the whole, the national economy will be empowered.
So if federal government or state government put in an institution like this, an economic facility like this, it is the host community first and foremost that will benefit from it. So the host community need to encourage federal government and the citizens and those who are going to utilize this facility by providing their own security in their own way for that facility.
The current move is expected to foster the development of Itakpe Abuja rail line to further ease movement of goods and services along the corridor, take off pressure and reduce carnage on the popular Okene-Lokoja Abuja highway. From Itakpe, I am Solomon Ayedehin, NTA News.
Adequate emergency preparedness as one of the potent ways of conflict and disaster management has been proffered in a book titled Planner's Perspective on Disaster and Conflict Issues of Forced Displacement of Persons Management. The book, which was unveiled to the public in Abuja, attracted stakeholders in conflict resolution and peace building, as well as other dignitaries. And Charles Alpha tells us more.
The book, A Planner's Perspective on Disaster and Conflict Issues of Forced Displacement of Persons Management in Nigeria, examines the relationship between planning philosophy and man's continuous interaction with his environment while proposing a paradigm shift towards proactive risk reduction.
The book will impact heavily on humanitarian actors and non-state actors, policymakers, and actually also the security system.
The Minister, Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, George Akume, the Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, among other stakeholders, believe the book launch presents an opportunity for authorities to reset their priorities in building national unity and a robust conflict management mechanism.
And the book seeks to advance solutions to the myriad of problems that we have.
We not only pass the law on peace building and we set up the peace building agency by law, recognized now all over, but we also embark on trying to settle the IDPs.
The recommendations in the book, stakeholders say, can only enhance peace and build confidence among the internally displaced population in Nigeria. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The advancements made by man in mastering his environment are forged by minds that creatively provided answers to the planet's most daunting questions: transportation, communication, health, industry, security have had their services enhanced by an epiphany of creativity or innovation. The National Information Technology Development Agency marked the World Creative and Innovation Day by engaging young minds on the limitless fountain of ideas, which is the human brain. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson was there.
World Creativity and Innovation Day is a global UN day that is celebrated on April 21 every year to raise awareness on the importance of creativity and innovation in solving problems with respect to advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It is regarded as a highly transformative sector of the world economy in terms of job creation, revenue generation, and of course export earnings. And for a country like Nigeria that is leveraging digital innovation in driving the nation's economy, the day cannot be overemphasized. That explains why NITDA is commemorating the day with innovation pitching by 5 selected startups.
We are all encouraged to look at our journey in the area of technological innovation and technological creativity, what we have achieved, what are our challenges, what we need to do to adjust and be successful in the future.
We are bringing you to this platform to pitch your ideas so that interesting investors can invest into it, as well as corporate organizations and governments can use you to develop a proof of concept to solve a problem.
We are going to continue to work on our product, embark on research and development to make sure that we come up with innovative solutions as young people, not to disappoint our country.
The bright side of this is anyone can be creative if they put their minds to it. And because kids do the darnest things, NITDA says the focus is on catching them young. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
You're still watching News Extra, and still to come, a special report on bail. How free is it? Plus, the efforts to get pensions without tension. We'll be right back.
That's all we have on today's edition of the Trophy Live Trivia. But before I go, I just want to say this. Keep your energy up. Don't be so hard on yourself. You did walk now, guy. You dey also go. You deserve a trophy with your fellow honorables. Anything you do that gives you the kick is worth recognition. Just look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, now honorable I be you. And even when we are feeling so stressed up, we can ginger each other up and share some good bottles of trophy lager. Because anyhow we be, when honorables gather, we share, we dream, and we win together. My name is still Fowles, aka Fowles the bad guy. Honorable Wagbayi.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest asset the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Liverpool are still in the hunt for a top four finish as they welcome Newcastle United to Anfield. The veil wishes for finals by the visitors this Saturday. It's Liverpool versus Newcastle United on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 12 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. Sierra Leonean government has called on the Nigerian government to assist in strengthening and building its road management authority for effective traffic administration. Executive Director, Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority, Ibrahim Sano, who made the appeal, said this will reposition the traffic management in Sierra Leone. Aoyeye Miajai has the details.
This visit by the 5-member team from Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority is to understudy the Federal Road Safety Corps on daily activities and know how achievements were made on road management. Going down memory lane on how FRSC started as a voluntary organization to becoming major road management agency in the country, the Corps Marshal emphasized the need for African countries to seek help from one another and share experiences where needed.
Today, the Federal Road Safety Corps has about 1,380 formations all over the country. And you know the size of Nigeria. Nigeria has a population of 203 million with a landmass of 924,000 square kilometers and a road network of 204,000 kilometers. and a vehicular density of 10.5 million vehicles cuts across the articulated vehicles and the minibuses and buses and cars.
Executive Director, Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority says FRSC has been a model for proper structure and road management activities on the West African region, and Sierra Leone is reciprocating these for safety and sanity on the country's highways.
The reputation the FRSC has garnered over the years in Nigeria and even within the sub-region. And reading from the files, it is also our ambition that indeed, as part of our strategic plan, which is yet to be approved by the minister, but it's there, that in 3 years, by 2022 or 2023, we intend for the entire SLRSA to be full-blown like the FRSC of Nigeria.
The delegation will be in Nigeria for a week as they visit different departments of the Federal Road Safety Corps to learn more, especially in the area of data collation and analysis. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Good news is coming the way of pensioners, as the Chairman Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service, Ibrahim Shekaro, assures that the National Assembly will embark on holistic review of Nigeria's Pension Act to guarantee timely payment of entitlement. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
As the Nigeria Union of Pensioners await the emergence of new leadership that will pilot the affairs of the body for another 4 years, there appears to be hope for retirees as federal government vows to implement the consequential adjustment from the 2019 new minimum wage.
My ministry had decided to take the lead on the lingering issue of consequential adjustments to pension of Nigerian pensioners, which has been overdue.
We're already mounting all the necessary lobbies and pressures on all the governments, federal government and states, to ensure that all the constitutional provisions on pension matters are duly implemented.
Somebody will work for 35 years and have attained the age of 60. To pay his benefit becomes a problem.
The outgoing president of NUP, Dr. Abel Afolayan, appeals to employers to cooperate with the incoming leadership and not allow retirees to suffer backlog of arrears.
They should give the same level of support to the incoming administration, hoping that gradually it will get better.
New ESCO for the Nigerian Union of Pensioners is expected to emerge on Thursday, the 22nd of April. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Dr. Ifoma Adaora Anyawutaku, has charged residents information officers in the ministry to always strive and live above board in the discharge of their duties. The Permanent Secretary gave the charge at a meeting with resident information officers in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The resident information officers assembled here are staff of the Federal Ministry of Information, but seconded to different ministries, departments and agencies. The Permanent Secretary, while commending them for an excellent performance, noted that it is disheartening that a few RIOs are not pulling their weights effectively, hence indiscipline will not be condoned.
Under my watch, we will not allow indiscipline, we will not allow indolence, we will not allow insubordination. Yes, we'll expect our information officers to be up and doing and to live up to expectation.
On the need to brace up, she advised them to seek self-development to be able to compete favorably on the job in this technological-driven world.
We want information officers to be dynamic, to move with the times, and to deliver on the mandates of the Ministry of Information and Culture.
The meeting between the RIOs and the Permanent Secretary is the first since she assumed duty at the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
In the concluding segment of the news, Judge Floyd finally gets justice as ex-cop Derek Chauvin is convicted by jury. Black community commend verdict in the U.S. and around the world. We also have our spot for sports.
Liverpool are still in the hunt for a top four finish as they welcome Newcastle United to Anfield. With their ambitions for finals by the visitors this Saturday. It's Liverpool versus Newcastle United on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 12 p.m.
The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu in association with Gold.com.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher no more. A fellow one project. Teacher no more. A fellow one project.
The premiere of the new season of The Village Headmaster, initially scheduled for the second quarter of 2021, has now been postponed till further notice. We apologize for this short notice and promise to keep our viewers and advertisers informed as soon as we have a new date.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. We are trying, shall.
You're welcome. Reactions have continued to troll the Minneapolis jury conviction of the ex-policeman Derek Chauvin of murdering George Floyd as U.S. launches Fed probe into Minneapolis police. The report.
It's a moment of accountability in the U.S. city of Minneapolis as former police officer Derek Chauvin is convicted of murdering George Floyd, a milestone in the fraught racial history of the United States and a rebuke of law enforcement's maltreatment of black Americans. A 12-member jury found Chauvin, 45, guilty of all three charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter, after considering 3 weeks of testimony from 45 witnesses, including bystanders, police officials, and medical experts. Deliberations began on Monday and lasted just over 10 hours.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Reactions as well as the uproar outside the court and the emotional outpouring after the Chauvin guilty verdict, reports say signify the long-awaited justice by family, friends, world powers, black Americans, and the nation at large.
The knee on the neck of justice for black Americans. Profound fear and trauma. The pain, the exhaustion that black and brown Americans experience every single day.
Wow. People forgot about him.
Yeah.
But he was the first George Floyd.
Yes.
But today, you have the cameras all around the world to see and show what happened to my brother. It was a motion picture. The world seeing his life being extinguished.
As reactions trail the verdict, a federal investigation has been launched into police practices in the city of Minneapolis, a day after one of its former officers was convicted of the murder of George Floyd. The Justice Department will look at whether there has been a pattern of unconstitutional policing. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the move follows national outrage over the killing of Mr. Floyd by Derek Chauvin.
President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the Odialu Agazu family, the Anambra State government, and the community of industrialists in Nnewi on the passing of Dr. Benson Odialu Chizoba Agazu at 75. As final rites of passage begin for the renowned industrialist, the president says the man popularly known as Bakbandu Nnewi would be surely missed, but his footprints on the industrial and farming sectors would remain indelible. In a statement by Femi Adesina, President Buhari prays for the repose of the soul of the departed and urges those who survive him to keep his good works alive and his memory evergreen. The death has been announced of Senator Major Sati Davis Gogwim. Sati Davis Gogwim represented Plateau Central Senatorial District at the 6th Senate. A statement from his family indicates that he died after a brief illness at the Rayfield Medical Center, Jos. The statement further says that he will be buried on Friday, 23rd of April 2021 in his hometown, Dawaki, Kanke local government area of Plateau State, after a funeral service at St. Christopher's Anglican Church, Rayfield, Jos, by 8 a.m. Service of songs will be held on Thursday, 22nd April 2021 at St. Christopher's Anglican Church, Rayfield, Jos, by 4 p.m. He was 71. And also, the death has occurred in Bauchi of Hajia Mariam Abubakar also known as Adada, at the age of 97. The deceased was mother to 5 children, one of whom was Malam Yaya Abubakar, one-time NTA's Director of News and a former Director General, Voice of Nigeria, survived by some of her children and grandchildren. Hajia Mariam has since been buried in Bauchi. Well, with that, we conclude News Extra for tonight. But remember that rape is evil, so be a star and connect with the NTA as we wage war against rape and rapists. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Fatima Mabuba.